Well, welcome everybody. We decided we were going to do a video talking about our time here so far. I know we've done a bunch of videos about some of the trips we've taken, but we wanted to actually talk and tell people kind of in person how things were going for us. So today is July 1st.
So yeah, it's July 1st exactly.
Yeah. It is a sweltering 100 degrees. 39 degrees Celsius. We're still adjusting to the whole Celsius thing too.
Yeah. I want to say it's been around 30, 39 Celsius the last week or two.
Yeah, it's been pretty hot.
And I'm hoping it doesn't get much worse than that, but it's probably, I'm guessing it's going to hang around there for the next month or two.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I know we had heard that summers here in Kyoto and kind of Japan in general get a little brutal, and we're experiencing that firsthand now. The air conditioner is pretty much on 24/7 when we're home.
Well, so the air conditioner works well, so that's very nice.
Yeah, that is very nice. So, so we got here in March. We arrived in Tokyo. We had to quarantine for 3 days.
So was it the 24th that we came in, or the 25th?
I think it was the 24th was when we landed.
So it's been a little over 3 months.
It's been a little over 3 months. Yep. Quarantined for our 3 days. We did our COVID test. Came out negative. Woohoo! And then we walked around Kyoto for a couple days. Tokyo, thank you. And then we took the Shinkansen or the bullet train over here to Kyoto. We've been staying in an Airbnb, which has been very nice. I would highly recommend Airbnb if you're gonna, even for short term, even with just a couple of days. A, it's super easy, and B, it kind of gives you a feel for the country. So if you're ever gonna come over here, that's kind of nice.
It's much nicer compared to an apartment where sometimes you feel like you're time locked into staying in there for 3 or 6 months or whatever if you don't like the place.
Yeah.
Well, it's something much nicer than the hotel, because this place actually has enough rooms for all of us to sleep in. And it has a little private balcony area where we've been learning to air dry our laundry pretty much for the first time since coming here. That was an interesting experience.
Yeah, so clothes dryers really aren't a thing in Japan.
Like our washing machine has a drying function, I think technically. Doesn't really work.
Yeah, I think it dries to like 60 or 70%.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really dry. So we have to line dry everything, which when it's 100 degrees out isn't a problem.
No.
Yeah, no, it does really quickly when it's that hot out.
Yeah, but I think it's supposed to rain every day for the coming week.
Yep.
So that's going to get interesting. That's, we have to bring the clothes inside and dry them that way. So that's definitely been something that we've had to get used to.
Yeah.
What else?
I think we spent about a week or two before our classes ended up starting in April.
We did spend a couple days before classes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, where did we go during that first week or two?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm not sure.
Ine was later?
Ine was later, yeah. Ine was in the last month, I think. I think we got here on a Thursday here in Kyoto, and then classes started on the Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, here in Kyoto. Yeah.
Kyoto ISI.
Yeah, and then we started school on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, do we hit Arashiyama before school?
Actually, I think that was after school.
That might have been after school.
I think we were just kind of getting used to the area, finding out where the grocery stores were and what they carried. And I know we walked to school one day and just to see how far that was. And that's, the weather's nice. It's a nice 15, 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
When the weather's not nice, it's a 5-minute bus ride, which is really nice too. So
it was cool seeing all the small stores though from here and on the way to school.
There's a ton of just really small shops that are like just family owned. And like the big corporations aren't really that big. Like maybe it's just the area of town we're living in, but I haven't seen anything like Walmart's or like Target, just big store size.
Yeah.
Like the biggest store I've seen was maybe Life.
Yeah, and that's still.
And that was still like smaller
than a big grocery store back home. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of 1970s America, where a lot more small mom and pop type shops.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. A lot of variety, a lot of different shops, a lot of different things, a lot more restaurants. I mean, but they're small.
Yeah.
So So
quite a few bakeries.
yeah, oh, the bakeries here are phenomenal. We were getting our bread at the store for a while, but we found a bakery close to us that just makes phenomenal bread. So that's kind of our weekly thing now.
And we have the fire ramen shop like right across from our place here.
That was tasty and fun. Yeah.
They literally set your ramen on fire.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that video, it's a fun one. Check it out. And then school started. Yeah.
Yep.
ISI it's a language school that teaches Japanese. Some of the students there have extensive speaking language already, and some do not.
Yeah, some they've only started practicing Japanese for maybe a month or two before coming. I believe the school was advertised as like a middle pacing, where like you would have enough time to do other things and or a part-time job, but like shouldn't be too fast. It's kind of been in between for us. It depends who you ask.
I think it does.
Pacing-wise.
Well, I mean, you had a year and a half of Japanese back home, so where Orion and I only had that one semester.
Just been like study on our own.
Yeah.
So it was a little fast for you guys, but a lot of this first semester has been reviewed for me, so I've been able to go through it fine.
Yeah. So we go to class Monday through Friday for 3 hours a day from 1 to 4-ish. So we're gone from the house from about 12 to 5 usually. You know, we walk to school, get there early, walk home.
Yeah, we usually do our grocery shopping right after class about every other day.
Yeah.
Just because our fridge is like only this tall, but it's not
tiny.
quite enough for 3 people.
Yeah.
So we tend to have to go every other day just so that everything is fresh, and it's about all we have room for. But
And also the food is a little more fresher, so you want to. Food isn't designed to last as long here.
Like it doesn't seem that way. Yeah.
Like a week or so back in the States, if here you're supposed to go every few days, if you eat it all, pick it up again. So.
yeah, for like a family household in the States, you maybe had to go like once or twice a week. Or usually your fridge was enough for a little more of a, not quite as often throughout the week.
Yeah. I think we went, well, I mean, back home we went once a week.
Yeah.
Here, I mean, if we go 3 days, we're kind of stretching it.
Yeah.
And probably a big part of that's the fridge. We can't hold more than that.
That's true.
But I mean, yeah, we walk everywhere. So
Walk or take the bus.
if it's really far, we'll take the bus, or super hot like it has been lately. Yeah. And the buses are really nice. They are quiet compared to the United States. Occasionally you'll hear somebody talking, but it is pretty rare.
It was a little intimidating the first few days that we were using it, but it's pretty simple once you like know what you're supposed to do. You pretty much just get on, or at least in Tokyo, you just hop on the bus and you press a button when your stop comes in, and then you can either pay with cash or you can pay with one of those online apps like Suica. Suica is what we've been paying with for the bus and other things, and then you just get off. It's like back in Tokyo you paid as soon as you get on, but here you pay as soon as you get off.
Yeah,
so that was a little weird, but
it doesn't matter how far you go here in Kyoto, as long as you're
it's the
within
same
a certain
fare.
area. As long as you're within the city. So
Flat fare.
yeah, it's fairly simple to use basically.
It's slightly air conditioned, so it's better than being outside.
Yeah.
It's not freezing, but it's definitely better than outside.
Yeah. I don't think they turned it on until it got maybe close to 80.
I think so.
Yeah.
When there wasn't AC, there was at least airflow.
Yeah, they have the windows open for COVID. They're still doing a lot of COVID things here. Most people are still wearing masks, probably
90-95%.
Yeah, when you're outdoors, yeah. Last week, I think we've seen fewer masks just because of the heat, but still a lot, especially compared to back in the States. So, yeah. So we finished our first 3 months after going 15 hours a week, plus, at least for me, it was almost 4 hours of homework a day. It was very challenging for me. A little less for Ryan.
2 hours per day.
Yeah, and Aurora, half hour maybe.
And well, I'm in they're in the same class and I'm in a different class within the beginner level. So we have different teachers and get different homework. They tended to get more homework than me.
We did, yeah.
Funny enough.
Yeah, so I rarely needed more than like 2 hours at most a day for it.
Right, and that was
And
pretty
usually
rare.
I was less than that.
You were usually a lot
I
less
usually
than
only need like half an hour to an hour.
that. Yeah. Oh.
course is very fast. Like some days, we would only spend one day on a lesson, and that lesson had 30 vocab.
Or 50.
Or 50.
Sometimes
And
50, yeah.
then it just went on to the next lesson, like, hope you remembered that in one day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess in the first month the pacing was kind of fast because they had to introduce a lot of new vocabulary so we could start actually forming sentences. So I think the first couple of weeks was more intensive because they were trying to just build our vocabulary list of words.
Yeah.
And with the Zoom component, both our classes had a couple people that were attending via Zoom until they could arrive into the country.
Yep.
That was a little chaotic.
Yeah, it must have been really difficult for those guys.
Yeah,
We're doing that.
and I know some of our teachers in the classrooms aren't always as technologically comfortable
Yeah.
using Zoom. So,
Yeah. So, and we all have about 20 students in a class, so they're okay sized. It's not bad. It's not like we have 50. So we all get talking time when it's our turn to, when we get called on, and everyone gets called on multiple times.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And something I forgot.
Yeah. So by the end of the semester, we were supposed to have learned 1,000 vocabulary, over 100 kanji, plus a variety of grammar techniques. It was about a year's worth of college Japanese in 3 months. So very, very fast paced, and probably more. Honestly, it feels like it was more. No.
I remember what I was gonna say.
Oh, what's that?
I recommend if anyone's gonna take a similar course, I do highly recommend having some Japanese because if you have no experience or just basic hiragana and katakana, it'll be very difficult to keep up with the class. Because you just won't be able to keep up with the speed of everyone else or the teacher.
Yeah.
it's definitely an immersion-based experience. They would hardly speak any English, even in the first week of just trying to get settled into the rhythm of how the classes are going to work and what's being taught. It was still mostly Japanese, and I think they expected most of the students to have at least a little bit of Japanese knowledge.
I think so, because
Just
we
from how
hardly.
they spoke.
Yeah. Well, we hardly covered any hiragana. I mean, we
Yeah, they
talked about
kind
it,
of.
but not a ton.
Yeah, usually at the end of classes, for the first couple weeks, we would practice writing hiragana and katakana, but kind of just zoomed through that, assuming most of them already knew how to write or at least read it.
Yeah, because they also taught at the end of class, so
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of.
it was more like review.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at least at this school's pacing, it does help to at least be able to read the alphabets. And once you can read that, I think that's kind of the biggest hurdle.
It is, yeah. For those that might be thinking of coming here and they are concerned about learning the language and how fast it is, we did have some classmates who had friends in another school called Arc Academy, and apparently their pace was slower. They used the same book, and where we went through 25 chapters at the end of our term, I think they went through about 18. So
I
it
think
was
so.
slow
It was
paced.
like maybe 2 or 3 lessons a week.
We were 2 to 3 a week.
You were like 2
Yeah,
or
we're
3.
2 to
Yeah,
3 a
I
week.
think they were maybe 2 max.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that would have, at least for me, I know that would have been helpful because it was very fast for me. And then I've tried learning other languages. I've tried learning Spanish and German in the past, and this is just incredibly fast paced. it was challenging.
Yeah, it's for some people. There's not always enough time to study the material beyond homework and just trying to process the in-class stuff going on.
That was me. That was definitely me.
So the teachers talk at normal speed, so if there's a word you ever get caught up on for a second, like, oh, what's this? You've lost the whole sentence that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole audio processing can be a little challenging if that's an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, I tend to have a problem with audio processing, and I think you have too with this.
It's hard hearing. I have
Hard
trouble
hearing.
distinguishing the words. Yeah. So.
Yeah, usually like I'll catch it and then it just goes right out the other ear as I'm trying to process it, and I have to
Yeah.
hear it a couple times for it to sink in, or I have to like repeat it in my head as soon as I hear it.
Yeah, I think the term moichido came up multiple times, and that means once again. So basically, please repeat. Almost everyone said it.
Yeah.
But that's been language school, which has been good. I mean, as challenging as it's been, I have to admit it is successful. I mean, I know I don't have 1,000 vocabulary words down, and I'm going to repeat the term just because I don't feel, even though I technically passed the term, I don't feel strong enough that it would be good to continue, but they're both going to move on.
Yeah.
But, you know, we definitely go to the store now, and, you know, we recognize katakana and hiragana, which are the two alphabets, and then
Yeah.
kanji as well. I mean, we're like enmachi. We saw enmachi the other week, and that finally made sense to us.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, like we can read some of the labels on like food items at the grocery store. At least if it's in katakana, that's usually where I can read it. I can't always recognize some of the kanji. I was gonna follow up with something. We can actually understand what the cashiers say now, for the most part.
for some, yeah, some of the
most
words
part.
we don't. Yeah, we
Now, I
certainly don't
remember
want-
our first couple times going to the grocery store, like just absolutely no idea what they're asking.
Yeah,
And nowadays, maybe it's just the fact we've been going so often, but usually I can figure out what they're asking now.
yes.
Yeah. Even though it is difficult, it has been semi-successful. Like whenever we go to the grocery store, we're discussing what meals we're going to have for the next 2-3 days, and we speak in Japanese, saying, "Hey, do you want this? Do you like this? No. What about this?"
Yeah.
Our trips down to the grocery store have been prime times for us to practice our Japanese.
Yeah, we
Each
do.
other.
Yeah, just between
we
each
do
other.
that.
Mhm.
And I will say, I think one of the things where we've been fortunate compared to some of the other students in classes that we have each other. So when we have a question, we can ask each other, or if we want to practice, we have each other, where a lot of parents don't.
Especially since she's a little higher level than us.
Yeah.
She can answer our questions that can't be answered in class because sometimes they answer in Japanese and we don't understand that Japanese, so it's like it's a little hard sometimes to get a question answered.
Yeah, we do rely on you an awful lot. Thank you.
Yeah, and it helps for me too because then I get teaching experience, which helps kind of reinforce it in my brain.
Yeah.
If
So
you can teach it, you probably know it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's good. It works for both of us. You learn, and I get to review my material.
Yeah. So that's school life for us. We start next week. We start our second term, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because we'll be in different
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah, we will. Well, you two actually might be in the same class now.
I hope so, but it's
Maybe.
a little unlikely.
Yeah, that would
Well,
be
I
nice.
mean, you guys managed to be in the same class.
We did,
I don't know
we did.
how.
I don't
I
know.
don't know either.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Considering I was in a different one and we're going over the same material,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope we can, but no guarantee.
maybe we'll have
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah.
Either way, you'll be in your own class though. So.
I will be in my own class. Hopefully, there'll be some of the other students I know in the school because there's 20 students in a class, and I think we
20,
have
22.
15 classrooms. 20
I don't
classes,
know how
15 to
many we
20.
have.
There's almost 10 on the second floor where we are.
I think there's
Third floor has less.
5 per floor.
No, there's more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think there's almost 10 on the second floor. Third floor has fewer classrooms for whatever reason.
Wow.
There's a lot of hidden classrooms. on the
Yeah,
floor
so yeah,
where you
you-
work at.
Yeah, you kind of go around the corner and you didn't know there was a room there.
Mhm.
So, so most of our free time has been studying. We have been able to take some trips though, which has been nice. Ine,
At least before the crazy heat kicked in.
yeah, that's really slowed them down. Those were Ine and Mano Hashidari were our longest trips because we didn't need to. We could have taken a train, I guess, but
Yeah,
We
we
rented
rented
a
a car
car.
together at those places, yeah.
yeah,
But it was quicker and it gave us the freedom to go around how we pleased.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I have,
Technically, I think there's a bus that goes up to Ine.
there probably
I
is.
think I've seen a bus drive up there.
Oh no, yeah, there was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So,
Granted, we probably have to take several buses, but
we could probably take the train to Mano Hashidate and then the bus from there. So
Yeah.
We could. It's also longer though. I think it's be 3.5 hours one way.
probably, yeah. So before we left the States, I picked up my international driving permit, which is something you can get. You go to the AAA, you ask for it, you have to take a passport photo with you, and it's a book that lets you drive in a lot of foreign countries for up to a year. So, so we've got 9 more months left on it, which once summer's done, I know we'll be doing more traveling. Once summer's here, we don't plan on doing a whole lot of traveling until
we've been doing a little
mid-September.
bit, but kind of keeping it restricted just because we're not quite used to this level of heat.
We are
Yeah.
not heat people. We are
Yeah.
cold. We are cold people.
Yeah, yeah. Northern Japan is sounding very, very nice right now. It's a solid 20 degrees cooler up there. Yeah. So, but we've, Ine and Amano Hashidate are roughly a 2-hour drive when it's not a holiday week.
Oh yeah, we tried going Golden Week the first time and it took like 5 hours to drive up there. We didn't even get to see Amanohashidate because the traffic on that road was just crazy.
Yeah, and I'm glad we didn't even try.
Yeah.
Because if we'd shown up there, that would have been horrible.
Yeah, the lines would have been too
Yeah.
much.
And then also, even if we do try to go to Manhashtate, once we got past all the cars, it's not an escalator.
Oh, the tram.
There's a tram
There's a
upwards.
tram that goes up.
So there would have been a crazy line up to the tram.
Yeah.
And then packed up there. So
Yeah. So, but I think that's our favorite. I mean, the water was crystal clear. It was cooler. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. The mountains and the ocean and the trees all kind of come together in this one place. And in Ine, that's where they build the houses over the water. So
Yeah,
that
pretty much
people
just
park them.
right at the water's edge.
Yeah, they park their boats inside the house. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
yeah.
That's in one of the other videos. No, that's the video you're working on.
Yep.
That should be coming out soon, hopefully. So.
Yeah, and that was where we found the shrine from the video that was posted a few days ago.
Oh, yeah, the Yashaka. I think it was Yashaka Shrine. I
Yasaka?
think not Yasaka.
Shaka?
I think it was Yashaka. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
because there's a Yasaka Shrine, and that's in Kyoto, and that's apparently a very famous shrine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But this one's the one that we found was basically hidden in the woods. It's like right out of the Jilly Louie. You just, hey, what are these stairs that go up into the woods? And we just randomly walked up there, and here's this beautiful shrine. Who knows how long it's been there?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean, I totally missed it when we drove up there the first time.
Mm-hmm. I did too.
It is totally countryside, but if you like that, it's very nice.
Yeah, it was very beautiful.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot because we used to live like 20, maybe 30 minutes away from the ocean back in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of nostalgic being able to see the ocean again.
It
That
was.
a big reason why I liked it.
Yeah, and the water was warm.
What was it?
Oh yeah, I just went down there and I stuck my fingers in there. It
Oh,
was
right.
it was warm. It was definitely probably upper 70s, low 80s maybe.
Well,
So
it's been hot for a while. So
it has been. Well, in the Sea of Japan, that's the Sea of Japan side where it is. So I don't know that it gets a lot of the cold water from the north. I think a lot of the currents come up from the south. So which is why it's so warm. It just brings all that with it. So a lot of local trips we've done around here. Arashiyama, which is the bamboo.
Yeah, Arashiyama
Grove.
we've also visited twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once was kind of busy and a little too warm for me.
And
Second time was more around the evening, which that was nice. We kind of took an evening walk
we did.
around the edge of the forest.
it was pretty.
Mm-hmm.
There was a trail up into the mountains, but it was pretty far, so we weren't able to complete it.
Oh yeah, I think there's another shrine up there.
Yeah, I like to go there
Okay.
eventually. It seemed very pretty.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe one of these cooler nights. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should go this week because it's supposed to rain. So it's supposed to rain.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
sort of in the rainy season here. We haven't had a whole lot of rain, but
It's the rainy
we-
season supposedly started like a week ago, but the rain's been kind of on and off
Mhm.
this year for some reason.
Yeah.
We like rain.
Yeah. Yeah. We love the rain.
Rain, good.
Yeah. So that'd be nice. Maybe we should go one of those nights that we have a solid chance of rain. We should go walk that. That'd be nice. So
We can consider it.
yeah. I know we definitely want to go when it snows. So we're talking December.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
just
while though.
blanketed
I
in
might
white.
go visit a few times. It's not that far away from us. It's within half an hour's bus ride.
Yeah, and it's 230 yen to take the bus. As soon as you get on, doesn't matter how far you go. So with today's current exchange rate, that's like $1.80.
Mm.
So, so pretty reasonable. Yeah, and it's a lot cheaper than owning a car.
Yeah.
You know, gas and insurance and the vehicle itself. So
Yeah. And the roads in Japan are a lot smaller than in the US.
they are. Yeah, they are not as wide. That's for sure. So it's been an interesting challenge driving, as well as being on the left side of the road as opposed to the right. So, but I'm getting used to it. Yeah, you know, I didn't hit the wrong switch for the blinker yesterday at all.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was
Yeah,
pretty
no,
good. No. So I think that'll probably be it for this update. Like I said, we just kind of want to do it in person. All of our other videos, we really haven't talked a whole lot, and we haven't shown anyone how we're doing or really talked about that. We just kind of shown our adventures. So if there's anything anybody wants to see in particular, please let us know. We'll be happy to try and make that happen. We understand we have a fabulous opportunity to be over here and do what we're doing. So we really want to live to the fullest while we can to see what we can while we're here.
We
So-
did use it without dying in the heat.
Yeah, minus the heat
Yes,
part.
assuming we can work with the heat.
So, all right. Well, thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.